Welcome back, League fanboys and fangirls. I am Exile. With me, as always, is my right-hand man, Funzy. And we're going to talk about relegation tournament, or promotion tournament, but it's more like relegation tournament.
TL and NV managed to hold on, and they are back in the LCS. TL did win early, went 2 straight wins, so they didn't have to play Sunday. They got to relax. They didn't have as much stress put on them as coming back on that Sunday when it's all on the line.
So they're like 3 fans are happy. Yay TL fans.
Double Lift earned his money, you know?
No, that's the big thing.
Steve was like, no, yeah, we're good. TSM, don't send beer. We're good.
Yep. So he didn't have to do anything else. He didn't have to like buy out whatever team got promoted up so that he could keep TL in there. So Double Lift, the Double Lift experiment was worth the money. They were able to beat some challenger scrubs and stay in the LCS. Good for them, but it wasn't like an outstanding performance.
I have to say the Gold Coin United games, especially Game 3 of their set with them, I was on the edge of my seat. Just it could have gone both ways.
TL was this close to getting reverse sweeped and out of the North American LCS. I mean literally
would have been out. They would have had Sunday to play.
This looked like a Double Lift arrow for a win chance, like this close,
and giving him Lucian.
Yeah, like this close. Because I mean, like, oh man, I expected more from TL. I mean, yeah, they won and good for them, but I expected more. I expected more from Envy, and it literally seemed like these two teams limped back into the North American LCS.
It was impressive. Envy that gave up a game or the match on Friday to Gold Coin to come back and beat them on Sunday to prove that they're better than Gold Coin to get in, even though they lost 1 to them. EU, of course, got destroyed both games and went home.
Our Bear Buckets teams, our 2 lowest teams, they're back in it. Good for you guys. You have 6 weeks to right the ship, and you literally have to do something, because if you come back summer split with the exact same lineup and the exact same team formula, well, we're not going to see you boys. You guys are going to be out.
I haven't heard anything about who's replacing Double Lift on TL. I don't know if they're
So the way the team breaks down with right now is, if you all didn't forget, or if anybody forgot, Golden Glue has been in Korea this whole time. He is boot camping on TL's dime. So DL still has him on the team, still roster slotted, they're supposed to meet up with him in Korea and supposed to join him at the boot camp. So I'm imagining that Piglet is going back to ADC, but they got rid of Adrian, so I don't know. I guess Matt's staying. I don't know if there's anything to hang your hat on there or be excited about that, but Matt's staying. I'm guessing Golden Glue's going to stay mid, unless for some odd reason Piglet's like, no, I love mid. Let me be mid. And in which case, if you're TL, you want to give your only good player all that he asked for to really rally the troops around Piglet. But I'm assuming that they're going to go back to the Golden Glue mid and Piglet ADC, and I guess Matt support. And man, they're going to have to either train hard, like give them a Rocky montage and be like, you're the best around. Because if they don't do something different, they're going to come back and they're just going to limp through the summer and be a whopping disappointment.
I don't think they're going to just limp. It definitely seems like Steve is going to put everything he's got in his power to make his team a winning team, especially not a team that's going to be in another relegation tournament, because I don't think they have the money sitting around to hire Double Lift a second time.
Yeah, there's not too many guys on the bench, and you already have like people like Cutie Pie that are like, no way, and maybe you can get like Dom or Void Boy or something, like pay them astronomical. Tarzan apparently really wants to be in the LCS, so maybe you could pay some of these streamers, these toxic Tyler 1 type players, and get them to be on your team. But God, right now, if they don't change something up, I don't see them having too much of a promising future. Same thing with Envy. Like, here's a shocker. Summer split, I'm going to call it out. Envy, bottom of my ranking right now, probably going to be the worst team. These guys got to change something up, or it's going to be really just a lame duck situation.
And Double Lift is back to streaming. He actually starts streaming tomorrow on Wednesday. But I don't know what his plan is to get back on TSM.
I really think that he's giving some, like, just a little bit of respect to Wild Turtle. And they're like, hey, man, I'm going to let you worry about the spring split playoffs. I'm going to let you do that. And then as soon as you guys lose, I'm going to be at, like, outside the door. Be knocking on the door. Double Lift's going to be standing in the rain going with his boombox, baby, take me back. Like, you know that's gonna happen. You know, he's just like, I'm just waiting for y'all. If you guys win, hey, good for you guys. I'll wait for you to win.
Gonna leave my business card right here.
Yeah, but you know he's gonna. If they win and they go to MSI, Double Lift is on that plane. Like, he's training in Korea with the team. Like, I'm just here to cheer you guys on. Like, yay. Actually, no, I'm just like, Turtle, move out the way. I really feel like Turtle, once Double Lift comes back, Turtle's best option is to go to Immortals. And go that way. Because where else is he going to go? Where else? Envy going to pick him up?
TL.
Maybe TL, yeah. So Piglet, yeah, you know. But they got rid of Adrian, so I mean.
Oh, wow.
So they're going to have to pick up a support or something. But yeah, I really feel like TSM will happily take Double Lift back, and I don't see there being a situation where Double Lift splits starting time with Wild Turtle, because it's not like Wild Turtle's waiting in the wings. You got to coach him up. Like, he's a pro player,
and he's been in the LCS for plenty of years,
for a very long time. He's not going to want to ride the pine and learn behind Double Lift. Like, if Double Lift comes back,
the greatest rivalry was Wild Turtle versus Double Lift.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that once Double Lift is, I don't see there being any way that TSM doesn't take Double Lift back. Double Lift is top ADC around. I mean, he just
maybe it's a money thing. Maybe Double Lift's like, hey, if you don't pay me that,
I don't know. I don't know.
I know that TL will.
Yeah, I know he really wants to be back in the competitive scene. I know he really wants to be back at TSM. So I really just don't see there being a situation where TSM needs to facilitate both contracts. I really feel like Wild Turtle is going to be finding himself a new home, either post playoffs here or post MSI, depending on how the roster thing shakes out for the midseason invitational.
Okay, well, on that note, let's talk predictions for the first week of playoffs.
So, first week of playoffs, we have P1 versus Dignitas and CLG versus FlyQuest. We'll go with P1 first versus Dig. Dig had a strong ending of the spring split, and so did P1. But I just feel like P1, if you got the Dark Meme Lord on your team and they start with Meteos, I really feel like Meteos is going to carry them. And I honestly, based off of their last couple of weeks with the Nori's play, I really think that they're going to go with the Meme Lord.
I don't know. It could have been just a matter of getting Nori back into the team and playing with the team. And they've had that week off to help him adjust with that and practice with the team.
But you have team synergy with Meteos, and they just pop off.
I think you just have better team comps with Meteos, is what you're trying to say.
The
initiation tanks are definitely nice.
So one, no one's ever going to spend time to ban a Zac. No one's going to spend time to ban Elise. No one's going to spend time to ban Olaf. Like, they're going to be banning, like, Rangars and Lee Sins and stuff. And even if Meteos can't hit a Q on a Lee Sin pre-20 minutes, you know he can at the end of a match. So, you know, they're going to ban those. And then Meteos just has a wider pool. He's really good engaged. And his play style is, all right, who do you want to play? And then I'm going to pick my jungle to fit your needs. Whereas it's the other way around when Anori is in. Anori's a great jungle. He's no scrub.
But Anori he's a carry jungle.
But he's, hey, I'm team captain. You facilitate around me, and then I'll help you win that way. Whereas Meteos is the other way around. Meteos is like, sure, man, what do you want me to play? Like, here I am, I'm jungle. You pick my champ. You want me to fizz?
But
right,
it also felt like Meteos didn't have his pound of flesh in the game too. Like, it didn't seem like he knew he was a sub and he knew he was only there for a few weeks, so he was just like, let's have fun, guys. Let's go out and have fun.
I felt like that was the way the first week, especially when he came in and he beat C9. He was like, man, that's all I really wanted to do. Like, haha, that was great. But then you had week 2 come around, and you seemed like you got a little bit more serious. And then week 3 came around, and I think the longer he stays in the spot, the more he's invested in the team. Like, these guys are pro players, and they're extremely competitive. And if he does get a good synergy, like Meteos is a team player. He's literally a guy that you'd want on your team because he's all about the team. And I don't think you can fake that sort of synergy on stage.
No, I don't think you can fake it either. And you obviously, the reason that he was as good as he was is because of that synergy and that way that he's willing to play for a team and play for the long game and not be selfish. It seems like it's kind of the polar opposite of what we've seen from the newer, younger jungles too, where they're much more vain about their play style, about being more aggressive, about getting those first bloods, about playing for themselves. Whereas Meteos seems to be the opposite, the more experienced, more let's see what I can do to provide the win for my team, or to help my mid laner carry, or to help my top laner carry, and he doesn't have to do anything.
Meteos' old team still love him. Everybody that plays with this guy talks about how good he is, how good of a guy he is. Like, not just his playstyle, but just personality-wise. They like having him around. And you can tell that because P1 could have put him to the pasture and been like, hey, man, thanks for subbing with. Honori's back. See ya. But no, they were like, hey, Honori, you're going to have to wait in the wing. Hey, Honori, I know you didn't play last week. We might get you a game this next weekend, but, we're making the push for playoffs.
But let's talk Dig then. Let's talk about how it seems like the Koreans have finally synergized. The Koreans have finally learned. Dude, they're here to stay.
Dig got the new coaches, and when they got rid of their Korean coaches and brought in Cop, the team turned around, and they're really synergized. Dig's really good. If Dig was playing against CLG, if Dig was playing against FlyQuest, I really feel like they'd have a better chance at pulling it off. I don't think that they're gonna make it to the finals. I don't think Dig's gonna come in here roaring and building up a lot of thunder. But they look really good, and they have a lot of good things to build on. Summer comes around, you give them 6 weeks from now, let them boot camp.
You think that because the Koreans and because the synergy and the communication build up, that you're gonna see them much stronger in summer?
So they were bought out by the Philadelphia 76ers. If anybody follows Philadelphia 76ers,
Apex.
Yeah. If you follow the Philadelphia 76ers basketball team, the basketball team's Garbo, but they have this thing called trust the process. Trust the process. We're going to keep throwing games so that we can get these number one draft picks. Trust the process. In 5 years, we're going to be great. So Philadelphia 76ers invested all this time. They have where these guys play and practice for 11, 12, 13 hours a day, and then they take 4 hours of English classes, in between. They make these guys take English classes, and they're investing in them. They're literally why would you do that if you're not sure if you're even going to make it out of the spring split? They're like, no. We trust the process, trust in us. It works. The team's working. Obviously, their communication's getting better. You give them 6 more weeks of English, 6 more weeks of being on the team, 6 more weeks of playing against each other. They're doing really, really well. It's really good.
I'm not going to argue. I actually think that Dig has much more longevity as far as
I do too.
The LCS goes. I think the way we're seeing TL slip from being the 4th place team, as everybody jokes on, I think we're going to actually see a better LCS because of the caliber of the teams that we're going to have now. It's no longer going to be if you're not a CLG fan or a Cloud9 fan or a TSM fan, you're basically going for a 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th place team.
And it used to be that outside of the top 3, outside of the top 4, when you were a middle of the pack or lower of the pack, there was a huge gulf between you and the first place team. That's not the case anymore. Yeah. This last spring was so tight. These guys are all really, really close.
We're still seeing games where TSM, who did finish first, is still throwing the first game against these teams.
Yeah, so is it they're not warmed up, or is it these other teams are just that good?
Or are shocking them, or are coming out of the gate and making them think, maybe we don't have the strategy down for this match. Maybe we got to go back and think and talk this out.
Exactly.
And then come back stronger.
So that shows that because they have a better team synergy, or they have a better coaching in place, or they just trust in each other, they can come back and win these games.
It's regional. That's the key.
I'm telling you,
have that regional in the wings.
You come back, and if Dig builds on what they did this season, I think Summer Split, they're a force to be reckoned with. Right now, I cast P1 as my clear favorite, but I would not be surprised if Dig won, but whoever wins, P1 or Dig, I don't see them progressing past this point, at all. Same thing in our next game, which would be CLG versus FlyQuest. I really think that CLG is my clear favorite right now, with the meta shifting towards what CLG does best and what they play towards. And with a team that has they have a great team synergy.
I have to agree with you. That team obviously started out in a rough place, but just like every team, they've trended upward. It's always been improvement every week, improvement every week, improvement, and it's starting to show. And because of that, it's definitely going to be a better, stronger team as the split goes on. And you don't know. I mean, CLG beat TSM in one final before.
So CLG is my only team out of the 4 that are playing this coming weekend that I feel has a good opportunity to carry it on. Now, FlyQuest is going to be playing with a huge chip on their shoulder. The second half of the spring split, they nosedive. They recovered just a little bit that last week, just a little bit, enough to go, all right, we stopped the bleeding. We stopped,
from a team that we
sinking,
thought was top
which was
tier,
going,
to just give up week after week of games.
So they fixed what their problem was. I mean, they even said it. They even said that, hey, we played too many champs. We tried too many crazy comps. So they tried, literally their last 2 weeks, they played just meta champs, and it struggled a little bit. Now, I don't know if this week or 2 off that they had before they gear up, is enough time for them to keep practicing meta champs to go in and pull solid, but if they try to do the crazy stuff, CLG is going to stomp them. If they try to do meta champs and they haven't practiced enough on it, CLG is going to stomp them. Now, they may win this one, but they're winning a lot of games on their crazy picks, and the meta shifted where those crazy picks don't last. There's no more assassin, armor penetration, crazy comps like that. It's more straight up team fights, and I just don't know if they have it to pull it off.
And they need a jungler that can either tank or carry, and some of the champions that he was picking, they have good assassination potential, but they didn't have carry potential, and that's where the issue was lying. I think that their jungle got soft, and no matter how much team experience you have, if there's a position like jungle that's not facilitating a lot of those, either initiating the fights or making sure that the big damage dealers on the other team are kept down, you're gonna see the team comp just break apart.
Yeah, they have good veteran players. They have a good solid team, and they do have the potential to easily win. I'm just saying right now, with them having just stopped the bleeding of giving up 5, 6, what was it, seven matches? It was 6 or 7 matches in a row where they lost. They had 6, 7 losses in a row. I don't know if they just stopped the bleeding where they can turn around and turn it into a 10-game winning streak, but it's just I don't have a lot of high hopes for them.
And it's best of 5s. I mean, that changes everything, because it's all about how long you could stay in the hot seat and keep up the stamina, because sometimes you get to that 5th game and it's all out there. I mean, you're drained, and you end up seeing what happened with TL and Gold Coin. Yeah.
Now the guys on FlyQuest are no strangers to reverse sweeping, having been the majority of them still being on XC9 players. So they're used to winning. They're used to coming from behind. They're used to doing this sort of thing. It's just I don't know if their experience is going to be enough to handle them, seeing how as CLG's the only team that didn't do any roster changes whatsoever. They have invested in their team. They're like, hey, we're going to ride this team out. And even though they finished the split at a 50-50 dead even, there was a lot of improvement, especially where the beginning of the split, their biggest weak link was Darshan, and Darshan has really come on. Ever since the meta shift, Darshan has really come on to point. And, Smithy's nothing to shake fist at. They have lots of good players. I mean, Stixay is great. Comes back from being on his deathbed and has hospital brand on his bracelet on his hand, and still is able to play a 50-minute match.
Yeah, still pulls out a win.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are legit, and me coming into the playoffs hot is probably the best thing that you could do. So I still feel like C9, TSM, and CLG are my top 3 right now, and it's just going to see who does what.
Okay, well, that's going to do it for this week. Obviously, we're looking forward to all the action this weekend. Catch us next week as we follow up after the week 1 of playoffs. Like, comment, share. Let us know how we're doing. We're going to leave you with the BM of the week.
Yeah. GG.
GG.
Hey, buddy. How you doing? Good. You're a social media guy now.
Really?
Yeah.
You trolling?
I'm serious.
Steve? Well, I thought you were on the same team.
What? I can't be on different teams like you.